Come on in. There's the old hitch. Look at that. It's brand new.
Back in Rule King Special. It's a Kurt brand. Boards are going to be 12 foot. Put it right up tight against that board. They ain't going to fit. But what if they take the gate off?
Slide this thing on.
Yeah. Yep. Just lean it up against that back tractor tire.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's what I said. This is handy. That way if you want to haul something a little longer than 12 foot, you just take that off. Okay.
Got the green light.
Yeah, I got plenty of stinking mulch.
Yeah, they do.
Eesh.
She waving us in.
I was glad to see I didn't have to wait in line. How are you today?
Good, how are you?
Good. I'm going to be a minute. I got a whole bunch of stuff.
That's fine.
We're going to load the deck in the back, and then I'll be back to see you.
Okay.
Thanks. All right, deck boards. Just get 50.
You guys need help with anything?
Yeah, I'm going to. I'm getting 50 of these 12 footers. I still got to go inside, but I got a list. I told him to start stacking. You got something better to cut this with than this? If not, I'll get it. Got something better than I got. Perfect. All right, Kay, I need 50. I already got them. I need 50 of them 12 footers.
Great.
Okay.
We don't sell straight lumber. So.
I'll be back.
Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, I know. I get that. Jump in the truck. Okay, that should be it.
Oh yeah.
Get 50 of them deck boards.
Oh yeah.
Alright, do I need to count them?
Nope.
Huh.
How you doing? Pretty good.
She did cut that up big off.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck?
He didn't care, did he?
Hopefully them boards don't slide.
Think they will. Yeah.
Watch out, Boo Man. He's gonna be all kinds of jacked up when I put this deck on.
Thank you. Oh, whoa. Too much weight, big homie. What are you thinking, Boo Man? Huh? What are you thinking?
What are you thinking? What are you thinking, big boy?
Done through the bucket, lady. Where's the bucket?
Where's the bucket?
I'm excited.
Whatever you want to do. Hey, there we go. That's better than good. Get her out there. How deep is that?
Coming in hot. In that little trailer up, covered up with the carton.
This one.
Full blast.
Yeah, good enough. Oh,
Add water.
Easy does it.
are you sure? Good.
Better sit. Don't touch it. Don't
Dump that bucket.
Don't even look at it. TV timeout, that's where it doesn't exist to this guy.
Alright, give me a little bit.
Putting a little concrete in the hole now.
That's good.
Got it?
Alright, I gotta cut that much off yet. Let me go ahead and get some screws started in this. That way when we stick it up there, I won't have to try and get it started. Get on your mark.
Oh yeah.
I'll get it level. Make sure you're flush. Good? Sure?
Yes?
Like it there?
Oh yeah.
Just slide down there right.
Work in progress.
Now, what we've done, so I'm gonna have the camera for a minute and I'm gonna show you. What we've done to keep our spacing, we've put this little block right here, and then we've also put another little block right here. So that gives us an even spacing of 1.5 inches along the bottom. Now last night I made these pieces right here, and so what we'll do is we're going to set this top piece on, and then that gives us our spacing for our vertical height up and down. As you can see, when I put the spindle up here, I made these marks right here, so that shows me the exact line, and by sitting on this jig I can keep that right there, and I can keep that right here when I toenail this in. And that was our whole purpose of doing that. Now on this particular application, I'm using a 4-inch screw. So that way I can get a little farther back for my toenail, take out less of a chance of this board gonna split. That's the beautiful thing about having those marks on there. That allows me to keep it square where I want it on the post. Now I try and get those in so they're just a little below, because when I'm done with this, I've got to cut the posts off, and then we're going to put a cap board on. Now as you can see, since we left that block in, we stayed right on our line that we made with our spindle originally. Okay, so now that I've got that, now I need to mark my 6 inches, because we put our spindles at every 6 inches. And so this is real easy, and I've got a nice Craftsman tape, I think.
Stanley.
It's a Stanley, sorry. So I'll put a 6 inch, 1 foot, 1'6", 2 foot, 2'6", 3 foot, 4 foot. You guys get the idea. And then we will mark that on the top and the bottom. And then we're gonna cut some spindles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 14, 15 spindles. So let's go cut some spindles. Now, so the way I did this last night, because as you can see this, I put this up last night. And so that's what this whole deck's gonna look like, but we just didn't have our camera situated and ready to go, so we're catching up with us. But this is how we did it. What did I say, I need 16?
16. Sweet 16.
There's 7. Okay. I say I need 16.
16.
14. 16. Okay.
That is one bundle.
So there might be folks out there that'll do this a little different. And I apologize for talking with a pencil in my mouth. But here's how I do it. Now see, this is what I've already made, and this is just my jig, if you will, for all these spindles. So what I do is I just hold this point right there and just mark it. And it's very quick, very simple. And if it's a 1/16 of an inch off, or even, you know, if it's off just a little, it's okay, because it's not really that big a deal, because you'll see as I screw them on, the top's all gonna be flush anyway.
Blake, you better stay down.
Now see, you folks can't really see this, but we've got this saw's equipped with a laser, so that's what I'm doing. I'm getting that lined up with the laser. And then we'll set them down here, because once I get all these cut, we've got to cut the bevel. So these are wonderful tools. They are also dangerous tools. And so by all means, proceed with the manufacturer's recommendations for safety. Okay, so now that I've got that finished up, what we're going to do is we're going to switch gears here, and we're going to set this at a 50-degree angle. And I'm going to check to make sure my blade doesn't hit, because this is really, really, really close. Because all I'm doing is cutting the bare corner off of this to cut that bevel. So yesterday what had happened is, you can see this little piece, that's all I'm cutting off. Well, I got in a hurry and I didn't let the blade stop before I brought it up, and a piece of that got up in there and it kicked the blade over sideways, and it came out here and it snapped this piece off, and it went almost all the way up into there. It could have been some serious bodily injury. So see, that's what I'm doing with that 50-degree cut. So there is my finished spindle.
You hate to see it. You just hate to see it.
Oh no.
What you got? Oh!
I got my steel thread clippers on.
Good thing you're dancing. The old DeWalt batteries last me pretty good.
Yeah.
Look at that. Right on the knot. What are the odds?
I know.
What do you guys think? Looks pretty good.
Big drop.
Big drop.
Like,
1 inch over 77 3/4.
Cutting the old cap or top rail here, right?
Help me out.
Top rail?
Top rail.
Yep. Cutting the old top rail. Top rail going right here. We're cutting up.
Alright.
metal? Yeah, but you split on
Yeah,
each end.
yeah, I split it on each end like that. That's correct.
Almost done. It's coming to an end.
Come on.
Yay!
We're going to use our hillbilly tape measure. We're going to go that far and go that far.
It's a nice
The center of that board should be right there.
one. That's a nice one.
That's how we roll. This one's not quite as bad, but I'm still going to cut this corner down just a little bit so it'll sit down in there a little more level. That should be better. Now I'm going to mark underneath here because those boards, those are what we're going to cut. Those 2x10s are what we're going to cut for our steps. And those are 1.5 inches wide. And I want those to come right up underneath the deck and come up underneath there flush. So I'm going to put a mark right at just below 1.5 inches. So that way, when we set these in here, this top step will be right up underneath this and there won't be any gap. So let's set this one up there and see how we're looking. And I still need to go down quite a bit actually. I need to go down probably another 1/2 inch, give or take. That feels better. It's nice and solid. And I can pretty much live with that, folks. If you take a look at that level, we can live with that. And if you look up underneath here, you will see my mark right here. Here's my mark I put for 1.5 inches. So I am right on that, and I am pretty well level. And we're gonna go ahead and screw this bad boy in before it gets away from us, and then we'll set the other one. And we'll just screw this right into the side of the post. Okay, so that's that side. My 1.5 inch mark's gonna be right there. And then we'll go 40 inches over, which is gonna be about right there. So let's just see what that looks like. Looks like I probably need to go out a little further. So let's just see what the level has to say before we get too excited. Yep, I need to take a little more of this out here, and then we'll be pretty close. Shave that out like that. So there, that feels pretty good going against those boards and being square and just by looking at it. So this is probably pretty close. So there we go. So we will go ahead and screw this big boy in. Now if our calculations are right, once I go cut those 2x10s, it should slide right up underneath here. Hopefully we've got our good 1.5 inches. So let's cut some boards. So we'll get this little dude out, see if we can't get these boards cut. Now I need to get my square, because I've already got my 40-inch marks on there. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get this mark. I went ahead and broke the big square out for this one. That one marked. I've got another mark right here because I need 4 steps. So I bought 2 8-foot boards. Then that way I can get 2 40-inch boards out of one 8-footer. Filming business is a hazard.
Beautiful. I'm so excited.
Let's see if we can get that to cooperate. And I'd really like it to be right there. Now I get a little wiggle. We're gonna screw this bad boy down before he runs off. Now before I do that other side, I'm gonna go ahead and get all these boards on here and get them ready. And I'm going to go off of this side, and then that way if I need to adjust one of these in or out, I don't have myself committed on both sides. Now once I get these steps done, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set the post. I'm going to put 2 posts here, and I'm going to set 1 post over there, and then that way these posts can set up overnight, and then tomorrow when we come back to our episode, we will go ahead and finish our top cap up here on the deck where we stopped the other night. And then we'll have these posts set so I can get this handrail on tomorrow as well. We'll get one here. And see, the reason that we are setting these with a little gap, because eventually I'm going to come in and I'm going to close these steps off. So that gap will allow us to put a shadow board in here, and we'll close all that off. And from our measurement, the top is not too bad, but this bottom has got to go over just a little. These first two look really good, but the bottom two need a little adjustment. And then let's see what we can do with this. That's what I was afraid of. Once I've kicked that in, we better just take that back out. I figured it'd hold it, but I thought I could gamble. I would rather this bottom board be set where I want it, and then if the others hang over a little bit, that's okay. We're gonna go with that. Front looks good. We got her coming together now, folks. Except I got a big knot in the middle. I might only put 2 screws in this one. We're just not even going to sass that big boy. And it sounds like my battery's about ready to go to the charger. So there are our steps. Okay, while we were away, I got one of the holes dug over there, and we did a little figuring, and I need 34.5 inches from the top of the step to the top of the post for us to set the handrail tomorrow on the step. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this 4x4 in half, and I'm going to show you how I set one of these posts. And I'm going to try and cut this straight. Now we got that cut, let's go set one of these bad boys. And I've already got the hole dug, and I need to go get my level because I'm going to be I got a little bit too deep, so I'm going to need to put a little sackcrete in the bottom of the hole, and then we're going to get it set right where we want. Okay, so like I said, I need 34.5 inches to the top of the post, and right now I've got 32, so I need to come up 2.5 inches. Now I could take that top step off and run a screw into it, which I probably will, which will help me get it exactly where I want. Okay, so here's what we did. We ended up taking this top step back off, and since I need to be 34.5 inches from the top of the step to the top of the post, we went ahead and we added 1.5 inches because that'll be the thickness of the board. So I put a mark down here, and then I went ahead and set this right at 36 inches. So I know that that'll give me my 34.5. So what we did is we leveled this up, and I shot a couple screws in right here on the inside of the step, as you can see with my hole here. Now we're going to go ahead and concrete this in. And we'll make sure that we get this up underneath this step good. I want to get a little bit in there, like so. And then I'm literally just taking my hand and I'm jamming that down in there underneath that step. So I know that I filled that void. Then we'll go ahead and I'll put a little more in. And then we're gonna get the hose out and we're gonna water this bad boy. So what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna go ahead and dig the other hole. We're gonna set that corner post. I've got one more to do over there. I'm gonna go ahead and get all these done tonight. And then that way when we come back in the morning, we can go ahead and we can cut these posts off. We're going to cut these posts off, and we're going to put that handrail or the top cap on there, do the top cap on the side, and then we're going to do the handrails for these steps. So we will see you in the morning. Hey, good morning, folks. As you can tell from where we quit last night when we set the post, that the weather has changed significantly here this morning. It's a little chilly, but the sun's shining. So we're going to try and get this done. So what I've done this morning is I've got these 3 posts marked, and I'm going to go ahead and get one of them cut off, and we've got a couple more on the other side. But I'm going to cut these posts with the Sawzall. there's different ways you can do it. The biggest thing is just make sure you get it cut straight. So I'm gonna try and cut this middle one off first, and then we'll work our way up to the front, and then we'll get this back one, and then we can go ahead and get our cap board on this. So the biggest key to this is to just be slow and get your blade started where you want it and have a little patience. Now, I'm probably gonna come up on the inside and try and finish some of the rest of this cut. So like on these corner posts, I could get around it a little easier. But with this being in the middle, I want to make sure I get this right. Okay, now I'm pretty close, so I think I can finish the rest of it up from the outside. I wanted to make sure that I got that cut proper. Not bad, not bad. I'm looking at it from out here. It looks pretty darn good, really. So now we will try this side. Would you look at that? Okay, now here's the cut I've been dreading. Cut against the house. I'm going to start this, and then we're going to finish this off with a handsaw. And it's not going to be easy. Now see, I'm not using the base of the saw here. I'm just using the tip because I'm wanting that tip because I'm going to keep the tip away from the house. So that's what I'm looking at. So as this saw's going back and forth, I'm watching this point right here on my line. Now, I'm going to come around the inside and I'm going to do the same thing. And I'm going to run that tip along this edge, and then I'll have to finish it off just a little bit with the handsaw. Now once we come back, I'll probably have this cut off, and then I've got to do those two, and then we can go ahead and finish up with our cap board.
Putting a top board on now, close to being finished.
Okay, so we've got those 3 posts off, and now I'm not the most precise person in the world, but here's how we measure these. By that much of my knuckle, all the way around, and that's how I've done the rest of these boards. And so this is just 12 foot, and that's the way we set the deck up. So I didn't have to cut this cap board at all. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this one started. Okay, well, we've got our handrails set, and now we're gonna put some spindles on. We're trying to close this little project out. So what we've done is I've gone ahead and I've already got these up, but I've got every 6 inches marked because that's how we've spaced out our spindles. So we're not going to get real excited about putting a level on here, and as you can see, I've just got little marks for every 6 inches. So the biggest thing I'm worried about is keeping this flush right here, because we will put a top cap on this after I cut this block off. So this needs to be flush. I just kind of eyeball that mark in the middle of this. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and set the top one, and then I'm going to grab a screw, and as you can see, I've got marks down here, and so we'll hold that right there, and then that'll really be close enough. I'm not going to say it's dead level, but 6 inches is 6 inches, and it'll be just fine. Now I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of these all set, and then we'll come back to you when we get this top cap on. Okay, so what I've started here is this is going to be the angle that we've got on both sides of this post, so we can put the top cap on, because now I've got all my spindles in place. So I'm going to very carefully try and get this cut. Okay, now let's see what this side is like. This is not a fun angle, folks, I will say that. Do this, the way we've got this set up is this top cap's going to butt up underneath here, and the way we've set the rest of these, it's been 1 inch long. So we're going to make this one 1 inch long, so that's 43.5, so we're going to make it 44.5 to match everything else. Okay, so now I've got my piece 44.5, and that is going to butt up underneath there beautifully, and then we're going to get our measurement set down here. And I'm going to get a couple screws and throw in here before this bad boy runs away. There, looks good. Everything's nice and tight. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and finish screwing this on. And that lines up nicely with that, so that gives us our inch overlap. And we're gonna tie this bad boy together. And I've still got 3 more of the handrails to do, but it's basically gonna be just like this. So I'll get back with you when we're done. Thanks, guys. We will see you next time. We'll come back though, and we'll show you the complete end result. Be right back. This is the last screw. Hey, here at K&J Adventure, we give all the praise, all the glory to the good Lord. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching us build our deck. Thanks. See you next time.
Mom's got her table and chairs set up with a couple flowers. Here it is. Don't forget, come back next Friday. We got new videos coming every Friday. Couldn't tell you what it's going to be, but I know one will be up. We'll see you then.